Hello and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan.
We started.
And we have Ethan here, and yes, we're starting.
I didn't realize we were just going straight.
I mean, we're just jumping right into it.
All right, we're balls deep. All right, podcast time. How's it going?
I didn't mean to catch you off guard. I believe I did ask if you guys were ready.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know you'd be like. Normally, you're like, "Are you guys ready?"
Right.
Normally, you're like, "Are you guys ready?" Okay, let's go. And then but this time you're like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah." I thought you like started typing something.
Nope, I'm ready to go.
Begin.
I wasn't, and I'm still not. Because what?
Gosh, man, what a.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was not expecting to spend my night like this.
I wanted a scary movie. This was trash.
I mean, in Dylan's defense, what I can say is this is
They don't
considered
have
a
it.
horror/fantasy film
It was neither.
called Army of Darkness. It is a 1992 film starring Bruce Campbell, and boy howdy was this a trash movie.
Now, I'd just like to preface by saying that whenever All Hallows Eve would roll around, this was an annual thing me and my sisters did, was that we would watch this movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
And I wanted to share that with you guys.
I don't mean to trash.
No,
on
it's
your
fine. It's a
family's
bad movie.
Well,
It's
and that
I'm by
case-
no
well,
means
wait,
saying
let
that
me-
this is a good and defendable movie.
Let me just say, if it's a tradition, I think it's a fun tradition because the
Yes.
movie's hilarious.
It is.
The problem is the movie's also awful.
It's so stupid.
Like, so
It's
I'm
the
not,
dumbest fucking movie I know of.
So that tradition is cool because this movie is shite. It's so bad.
Exactly. See, this is exactly what I was worried about. I was worried because I knew it was like horror adjacent. I figured, I've seen this plenty of times. These guys are going to love it.
Yeah.
But then it turned out to be another They Live situation where shit that makes me like off my rocker, like laughing my ass off. You guys are like, what the hell is it? What's going on? Like,
Yeah, all right.
And
I thought it was still funny, but I'm laughing
Right.
and saying what's going on.
Right,
But
right.
also,
The-
They Live. I don't remember being that confused about that.
it was mostly the sunglasses fight.
There
Right.
was a
Because you
couple.
guys hated that at first.
There was a couple of times where, oh God, that didn't remind me. There was a couple
Right.
of times in that film where it's
I'm
just
trying to remember the sunglasses fight. I'm
it's
still
just
fucked up.
cheesy, and
Yeah.
it feels
Dude,
a little
the cheese
forced.
is rank in this film.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
yeah. Okay, but still,
Right.
as a concept, they Live was significantly better,
Oh, of course.
right? So, like, even though it was, yeah, it probably still had its moments.
Yeah.
It was still like I just looked it up again to kind of like
Yeah.
catch up. But like everything about it was still like, but this. This
Oh, yeah.
this is something else, man.
The fucking WrestleMania fight in the alleyway.
Oh yeah, okay,
Dude.
that was funny, but that was just they just did that because they hired a wrestler.
Oh,
I
of
remember
course.
that. I remember they
Yes.
had a wrestler there and they had to
Exactly.
use him for something, and that's it. That's the scene. Yes,
That's
I-
the main actor of the film was a wrestler. and
okay, I remember now.
and they-
Sorry,
and
I had to
they
be caught up.
They actually trimmed the fight down because it was significantly longer.
It was
than
like
it
it
actually
was something
yeah.
stupid, like 12 minutes or something.
Right. Anyways, so
Okay,
No.
I remember.
This movie
I remember
is also
hating
Looney
that scene.
Tunes shit. There is slapstick.
the thing is, for
Not
me,
even
like,
good slaps.
Right.
I've never been a big fan of slapstick humor. It's just never really been in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Again, to each their own. Not saying it's bad, but I'm also saying it's bad.
Right. It's okay if you don't like it.
Is that like for this film, it's like there were aspects that I thought were funny,
Mhm.
but the problem is that the whole film was so oversaturated. It's hard to find the funny through all the bullshit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Like, and I'm taking this. Like, I understand. Like, I think I can laugh at this movie later,
Mhm.
but for my first inaugural watch of this film, it's hard for me to not be critical.
Yeah.
And right now, I can probably see myself watching this later and laughing at it more.
Mhm.
But for this first viewing, I was like, it was too heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they would have toned it back a little bit more and took itself a little
Over
more.
the top is an understatement.
Right, because there was a few scenes like that, especially went like towards the end with that main like skeleton fight sequence thing, where
Mhm.
like there was a couple of times where like there was some funny aspects of it. Like one of the best.
I love that they had like the default skeleton voice. That, right.
there was one part where there's a guy who's obviously like dressed in like a skeleton costume because a majority of the skeletons are actually like puppeteered
or stop
skeletons.
motion.
Right. Oh God, let's not get into that.
All right.
Talk about actual horror. But there's a one scene that I thought was actually done really well where a guy's running and there's an explosion. He's like, oh shit, and he's like fumbling around, and then of course he runs, trips, and then there's a bigger explosion and he flies forward. I was like, that's actually done
into the
really
stratosphere.
right, and it's so funny and it's actually like kind of interesting how it's done. But the fact that like there's no reprieve from the nonsense is what it feels like.
Right.
Every time someone opens their mouth, it's some bullshit ass line. I'm like, what is going on here?
Oh man.
All right, so just real quick distraction.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
all the horror movies, I'm about to get access to them, okay? Because there's a deal going on online for Shudder, and so like
Okay.
a year-long membership's like $40.
Oh, for real?
So it's normally like $6 monthly, or like $5 a month, which is billed yearly as $56. But
Cool.
there's a deal going on where I can say that. So I'm paying $39.32 right now. So I'm buying that, and we're gonna watch some scary movies because I'm tired of looking for scary movies and not be able to find them.
Okay.
So I'm buying a service.
Well, the
and
thing
this year
is-
going to be wild.
This one is going to be the first. I believe this is going to be the first episode of November.
Of Halloween? November. Well, looks like November's Halloween.
Right. Yeah. So I think we're gonna be
Rest
watching
in
some
pepperoni.
scary movies in the month of November. So
Mhm.
buckle up. But anyways,
Post mortem, if you would.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Post mortem. Yeah. Anyways, there.
It's okay.
All right, so
it's okay.
I'm going to, real quick, while you get your words about you. Okay.
I don't think I can.
this is,
I've been trying to for the past 30 minutes.
so, this is like, they have a lot of like I said, slapstick and a lot of bad humor. And there's like the skeletons are puppets.
Right.
And I'll be honest.
I would say the skeletons are probably the better parts of the movie.
It's got some good
it's pretty-
practical effects.
It's pretty solid.
Right.
But also, it's just the stop motion,
It's the first hour.
the like, the first half of the movie.
It felt short.
The
Well, because
first,
it was
how
an
long
hour,
is the movie?
It's an hour and a half.
Okay.
Or just shy of an hour and 40.
The first 30 minutes to 45 minutes is just them prepping for this army of darkness, and the rest is just the fight.
Mhm.
And I'll be honest, man, the fight's not even that good. Like, the fight is just cringe humor. Like, and all this at one point. What was the one liner I hated so much? At one point, it zooms in on his face, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he said like, "Good or bad."
I'm the guy with the gun.
Yeah, and I was like, really? That was the one-liner you picked.
Right.
That's it? That's what you picked, right?
The thing is, like,
The only one-liner I liked is when he's like, "Hey, you've got something on your face," right? and this beheaded creature is like, "Huh?" and falls for it, and he
just shovels dirt into his face.
He just shoves some dirt on his face, just on his face. And I was like, honestly, that was really funny. You got me there. That was just that laugh wasn't me laughing at how bad this is. That laugh was genuine. That was good. That was a good
the thing
scene.
is, like, for me, like, I understand
I'm
you.
just glad it made you laugh.
Yeah,
I understand
that was good.
that you didn't like the fight sequence, but I think that's probably where this movie shines, and I think where a majority of the budget went.
It goes ballistic.
The thing is, like, it's probably the best part of the film because, like, I really can't find any super nice redeeming qualities about the other parts of the movie.
Every other aspect,
because it's like there's actual action. Like, even though there's like quirky one-liners, some are like quirky
Okay,
things being said.
Let me pitch it to you this way.
Yes.
It is the Duke Nukem of horror.
Nah,
I mean-
you know what? I like Duke Nukem more.
But I don't.
Right.
I like Duke
The
Nukem more.
bootleg Duke Nukem of horror.
Exactly. It feels like a dollar store Duke Nukem of horror. Like it's not.
The thing, is, like
I feel
I
like
was
that's a fair comparison.
like I said, there was like some like cringy moments in the fight sequence, but it's like at least it was done.
a bone to pick with you.
Right, it's like it's goofy
Why,
stuff, but it's
right?
also
Like,
there's like, but at
it's
least
so
there's
good.
like explosions and like swords and a
Oh
fight
yeah, they've
sequence
got
to like go along.
pyrotechnics out the ass.
Right.
Here's my problem, and I did my research this one because halfway, not quite 3/4 way through the movie, I told Dylan I thought we were signing up for something scary, and he was like, yeah, but like this is what you get, and I was like,
say that
You said something. I forgot exactly
something
you said.
equivalent to it. I will say.
You were like, yeah, well, like whatever. But, like,
Is it?
but anyway, the point is, my response was
I believe
like,
your words were "buckle up."
this is yeah, something. And I was like, yeah, the problem is like, I didn't expect to get another Velocipaster, and you were like, "This is not Velocipaster," and I was
is
like, "I'll
not.
be honest, it's in my bottom 10 with Velocipaster right now." Here's my issue with it: Velocipaster, and I told you this, Velocipaster had a budget of $20 in a hand job. All right, its budget was $36,000.
No one will dispute that.
Its budget was $36,000, and I think we mentioned this in the episode for Velocipaster.
Yes,
$36,000 is just a little bit more than what my car is.
Yeah.
Right, that's not that much.
That is
at
a
all.
drop in the bucket for a film.
Exactly. That is a not even new Mercedes that I was looking at. Right, like that's what this. It's nothing fancy. Right, and like. This had a budget of $11 million.
Well, because this is a Sam Raimi film.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this point in time, he was actually, like, I'm pretty sure, did pretty good for himself.
So why is it that I'm putting this thing in my within 20% of Velocipaster?
So hear me out. This is, like, let me say this, and this is, I had this revelation halfway through the film. I know that I have talked about, probably in depth, on this podcast, or maybe not in depth. I've talked about it frequently enough on this podcast that I don't like films that are. I don't like the premise of films that are bad on purpose, like Velocipaster and like Sharknado, that are like these like specially crafted films to be like these films like we're watching of the day, which are like slapsticky, bad, kind of on purpose, or bad, or funny, cheesy, like kind of quippy films, and then they make these new films that are bad on purpose to kind of like be like, look how dumb it is, and it's like now it's like it just feels like a pissing contest with how shitty a movie you can make, and like like whenever, like I said, whenever
and it's hard to find out which movies are trying to be bad.
The first 15 minutes of Velocipaster, where like the car blows up and he looks all scared, and it's like in text it says like fire effects. Or whatever, I was like, okay, this is, and now I know what we're doing. It's like
placeholder text.
Placeholder text.
Yeah, what was it? Where it said, I forgot.
Car on fire.
Yeah, it said something. It was.
Yeah,
that was so good.
There was one that said like dead parents or something. I remember. I remember that shit. That was
anyways,
so
it was
funny.
just. It's like it's funny, but it's like also like okay, you're not even trying. You're you are trying to be bad. Mm-hmm. Whereas like, and I said I hate that because I really don't.
It gets to the point where it gets really hard to separate the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah,
it's really hard to figure out what movie's trying to be shit, so I don't want to watch it.
And it's
what
hard.
Movie's
it's also hard to laugh at it because it's like it feels like instead of a movie like this, for instance, which is just.
While we're talking, just scroll around, look around. These are all horror movies. I got Shudder downloaded.
Is that
on this podcast within 12 minutes? I got it.
Is that
not a sponsor?
Is that with this film, it is trying to be funny. It is trying to be slapsticky and kind of bad, or just kind of like quirky in its own way.
It falls like and somewhere in the middle where there's a story.
But what I'm saying is like, but there's like 80s films like this and 90s films like this that are like what I would call bad, but it's like they're unironically bad. Like they're just trying to be like a funny movie,
right.
And then by the byproduct is a bad film.
They're trying to be a pseudo horror comedy film, but it ends up coming across, especially now.
Right.
At the time, it was a horror comedy film.
Right.
Now it's kind of a bad comedy film.
The thing is like, so for me is like, at least I have some.
If you want, you can search things. I'm gonna look at getting on the TV.
At least for a respect. For like a respect level, I can respect a film like this.
Yeah.
That is like it knows what it's doing, and it may be doing it bad or good, but it's doing something.
And I'll admit, like the practical effects and some of that stuff was like some of the stuff. So like, and I mentioned this whenever they were digging up the skeletons and stuff, and I was roasting because one of them coughed, and I was like, with what lungs, right? And it's just with what throat? Yeah, right. And one of them hisses, and I'm like, with what vocal cords, right? And I'm like exactly, like you got to establish why they're being able to do these things. So I'm just pissing on it, right? But at the same time, I'm looking at these like puppets in the way they're moving in this like stop motion at like 12, 15 frames or something.
Right.
And I'm like, it's actually kind of impressive because they've got like a dozen of them on camera moving at once in this scene. And like in the actual fight scene, you can tell it's actors wearing outfits, right?
Right.
They're freaking. It's drip or drown, and these homies swimming, right?
Damn, I ain't never heard that before.
Perfect news on here.
Anyways, so you can tell that they're, but like on the other scenes, the more and more puppets that they get, the more it's like, I'm kind of impressed that they put this much. But the thing is, the budget went into those puppets. I can guarantee.
They do a good job of like intermingling like the men in costumes.
Oh yeah,
and these like
there was one scene, and you can still tell, but like it was still good, where it's like two dudes that are in fits, and then one dude's just a skeleton, but they made it look somewhere in the middle, and it was pretty good.
Right.
Yeah,
they would have like a bunch of dudes in the back, and then the puppets up front for like the glamour shots.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool because like they have one that looks just like a skeleton, the other ones look kind of like zombies or Draugr from Skyrim if you played that. So like they have like some of them
said they were wearing Draugr fits.
Yeah, that's why I said the movie, but like I don't expect everyone to have played Skyrim. It's like if you've played it, then like they look like, but it's sort of like these pseudo zombie mummy things, right? Yeah. So they're all wearing these fits, and there's just like one skeleton in there. I'm like, that's pretty cool because they put it like mid tier between.
That's what I mean by like I can tell that the care and attention and like what I think is probably the strongest part of this film is that like probably the
slapstick was
minutes.
Designed to be slapstick, but the movie had a premise. And I like it, but I was also just like
the first half of the film was the vessel to get us to this point.
Yeah. And like I kept making jokes because like the dude's got a double barrel shotgun and then the first scene that he uses this double barrel shotgun, he shoots it 3 times. And so I was
not
like,
once, not twice, but thrice.
Well, twice is cool. It's double barrel. That's the whole point.
I know,
but the third time, I'm like, okay, wait.
Wait a second.
He didn't. Yeah, wait a minute. Right, he didn't reload. Right, and if he did reload, where'd he get the bullets from? Right,
yep.
He's got
something's amiss.
Doesn't look like he's got pockets on his fit right now.
No,
right. So I kept
he's barely
saying
wearing a shirt at that point.
And at one point, he gets to his car and he opens it up and he's got some shells. Not many, mind you, but the problem
less than fighting a watery wrench in a pit.
Now, but here's the catch: by the time he finds his car and the bullets, he doesn't really use his gun anymore. But he's been using the hell out of that gun this whole time. Where did he put the bullets?
Almost in the way you would use a microphone, or like a megaphone.
Right. He's been using this gun, right, in like every couple scenes, and he's been using it a lot, right? He's been using it like it's a 9mm with an 18-round mag. The problem is, where's he got these bullets at? These shells, huh? He got them shoved up his ass or something?
I just want you to imagine this. I'm pretty sure he said it was a 12 gauge, 10 gauge?
Yeah, he said it was 12 gauge.
It was a 12 gauge shotgun.
He talks in depth about what it is.
But the thing is, like, you got to imagine, for those of you at home that may not know about this, like, a 12 gauge shotgun is nothing to shake a stick at. It's a pretty big gun, especially a double barrel. So to shoot a little shoddy blast with one of those is like, it's going to.
You've heard of Perfect Blue before?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had.
Sorry. I have it.
It's going to. that whip around. Ethan almost gave me whiplash with how fast he was.
You know about
my neck. Again, I've been. We'll talk about this later. Okay, anyways, we're talking about a different horror movie
on this episode of Army of Darkness.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Fine.
Oh God!
Rattle them, boys.
Oh God! So, anyways. As I was saying,
we should watch The House on Sorority Row. I'm listening.
Continuing.
Is that I want you to imagine like shooting a shotgun with like a big enough spread and a large enough gauge that like it's gonna like it can probably bust a hole in some things.
Hurt.
It's a full-size shotgun.
And I want you to imagine like him whipping this gun around and shooting it, and it is the equivalent of like BBs jumping off of metal.
Oh yeah, okay. There's a scene. Yeah, where
God.
First off, it's worth mentioning he never shoots the shotgun like it's meant to be shot.
Oh, never.
He shoots it like it has one of those stocks that like helps the recoil or something, right?
Like a sawed-off.
Yeah, right. Like it's a sawed-off. Like he shoots it like it's designed to be shot with one hand. So he just whips this thing around again like it's a 9mm. Right, and just starts blasting this thing. Right,
absolutely zero recoil.
Yeah, and absolutely no like
style over substance.
So
this
far,
motherfucker's using Gunslinger from Devil May Cry.
Exactly, yeah, 100%. No, he misses so much. It's a shotgun. You don't miss that much, dude. Come on, man. Right, and
normally for a shotgun you wouldn't have to. Even if you do miss, you're probably fine. But with this magical shotgun, he's shooting like.
Yeah, he's shooting
one BB.
He's shooting BB. And so at one point, he tries shooting at something, and legitimately the thing moves, which it shouldn't have, because again, it's a shotgun. It shouldn't be able to dodge these bullets, right? But it dodges it. In the background, there's a frying pan or something. It does it, bing, right? It ricochets off. It makes the textbook recoil noise. Right. Whenever a person in an old movie, the pew noise, or like whenever an old person in an old movie, whenever somebody spits their dip, it does. Right, yeah. it make the ding noise, and I'm like, okay, it's a shotgun. It make a lot more than a ding noise, right?
Dude, right. Another thing with this film that I didn't realize is like, there's so many little scenes in this film where the depth perception is just so off.
Yeah,
it's like let's not forget to touch on the shaky cam.
Oh my God!
And
you mean the main focus of this film?
People complained about shaky cam in name movies that they complained about it recently.
They got shit on this.
The Hunger Games was one of them. People complained about how much shaky cam was in the Hunger Games.
Oh, dude, I don't even know.
How they're running and the camera's moving. There was another big one that like I think it might have been. It's also based on a book. Is the Hunger Games and one that came out after. Nope.
Divergent.
Yeah.
Oh,
People complained about Divergent having shaky cam as well.
Oh, man.
Which I read both those books and then never watched their movies.
Yeah.
And now it's worth mentioning, I should say, I read The Hunger Games, but I didn't read Catching Fire and Mockingjay. I think I started Catching Fire, never finished it.
The Divergent films, they slowly go from bad to
worse.
Way bad.
And I remember from what I did see of the Divergent films, I was like, these scenes aren't great because in the book, they're like described and they have like weight to them. And in these scenes in the movie, I'm like, these are kind of not great. Yeah. But I haven't seen the whole movie, so I don't know. But I started The Hunger Games like recently again. Right. Whenever I'm getting ready for work, I like eat some food and just put something on. So I found The Hunger Games, was like, hey, why not? So I put it on. I think I'm like, they're not quite. They haven't started the games yet. They started right. So like I'm watching it right now. But still, people complain about the shaky cam in those. My man's. The shaky cam in this, bruh. If The Hunger Games is like
from like zoom ins and Dutch angles, shaky cam is the main.
Yeah, the zoom ins are the first place. Shaky cam, I think, is the second.
Dude,
place.
I didn't realize what film we were watching until we get like the opening sequence.
After the first 7 zoom ins, he's like, okay, hang on a second.
God, dude, we haven't even gotten like into this film, and I mean, like, we are breaking so many cinematography rules, which I'm okay with. You can obviously do whatever you want to do. This is your art piece. You can make whatever you want. But there's a point in time where I was like, buddy, you gotta slow down.
Enough wasn't enough.
No, dude. He was like, I'm not even gonna break the rules. I'm gonna beat this dead horse until it stops. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? So anyways, it just
the horse came back from the dead.
Yeah, and then he beat
the horse's name was Friday.
Lest.
Wait. Lest. Surely I jape. Lest.
Yeah. Oh,
what a succulent jape.
What a succulent jape.
Okay, we probably shouldn't mention these because they're all inside jokes and no one on the podcast got any of that.
Cares.
I've been watching this D&D
campaign. Jokes are ours.
I've been watching this D&D campaign, and of course there's this guy, and he was a guy busts into a room while he's in the process of holding a knife to some guy's head, and he's like, "Oh, is everything okay?" He's like, "Oh, it's just fun. It's all good." He's like, "It's a jape. It's a wonderful jape.
Scrumptious
a
jape.
Succulent jape we're having." Like, oh God.
A grand guffaw was had by all.
He told us that while me and Dylan were joking about you remember the meme, but I don't. But basically, the guy's he makes like, "I sent you a picture of my cock," and he's like, "Pretty deleted. Lest. No, I won't. Lest." And so we combined the two and made.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Oh man,
oh God.
I keep accidentally misspelling shudder and spelling shitter. All right, back to the movie. I googled it again because I'm trying to set up my account because I'm gonna probably use this for the next year that I have it. I'll keep you guys updated. Not a sponsor. Funny. Ian, if you get sponsorship, people reaching out for
yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, is it gonna play?
It's got audio, yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I was
okay. We'll save it for later.
Yeah. Trademark.
Trademark.
Oh my God! I accidentally had sent out a picture of mine cock and also mine ball. Pretty deleted. Lest thou desire to look. I just deleted. Lest.
Unless it craves.
Nay, banish it. Lest. I love it. It's so good. I don't know why. Oh man!
Shit,
Snoop Dogg. This is the type of content I like to see. Thank you, Snoop.
Okay.
Oh man, where's the sign-in button so I can finish this up? Yeah, it's. I probably should have taken notes, but and here's the thing. And I usually take a little bit of notes. I usually remember some things, but
I feel like it goes way too fast.
It's not that it goes too fast. I'm gonna say, and this is a pretty broad. We'll say plus or minus 2 minutes. Okay, every 4 minutes, plus or minus 2, there is something that we need to comment on.
Yes. I wouldn't even throw it that far. I'd be like, dude, every time another camera angle swaps and there's a new character on the screen and they open their mouth, some bullshit's coming out of it.
But there's something that we should comment on.
I guess
so I would say every 3 or 4 plus, like, maybe 4 plus or minus 2 minutes, right? There's something that is like, I would have written that down. The problem is after the first 10 minutes of the movie, I erased everything. Right? I stopped it. I was like, there's too much. All right. We're not even 30 minutes in, and I'm like, all right, I'm asking myself questions. I'm being that guy. right? Where I'm asking questions that are probably going to be answered, but because everything's happening like this, they're not. Right, like I remember the first question I asked. I was that guy in this film because he was in the 1300s. He said, "This is me. I'm in the 1300s and I'm a slave," and it's like a flashback.
He wasn't even a slave. He was a prisoner for a hot minute.
But he says he's a slave, right?
I know.
But he's like, I'm a slave at 1300s, and then it like fades into the little blue light at the store he's in. So the first thing I said is, wait, we're in the 1300s and there's a Walmart?
Electricity?
I was like, there's a Walmart at 1300s? What world is this, right? Yeah. So now, in my head, I'm like, so we're in some kind of different world? I didn't realize because I wasn't paying enough attention, maybe? I don't know.
It's one of those, I bet you're wondering how I got myself into that situation.
But because
back when that was new.
Of all the, exactly, but of all the things, of all the like cliches that they hit on, that one, I guess because it was new, he never said, I bet you're wondering how I got here, right? No, he's like, this is the 1300s and I'm a slave. And then it's like, boom, Walmart. And I'm like, hey, yo.
It gives like a brief synopsis of like the original film Evil Dead, of like what happens. But and
so I'm over here. The first question. So I was like, at this point, like 10 minutes in the movie, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop writing because I'm gonna turn to that guy and ask questions, and they're all garbo, right? Like they're all bad. I just dropped my phone. They're all bad. Like,
oh god,
my ears. I hit my ear.
What are you doing over there?
What? I hit my headset.
Just having a kerfuffle.
Yeah, I hit my headset on the microphone, and I'll be honest, it was probably as loud for them as it was for me because the noise it made in my ear was deafening. Like, oh man,
gosh!
All right, do you have fun facts on this one?
Boy, do I ever!
Boy, howdy!
Relay them, please.
Queer for Fear. Sorry, I'm looking at Shudder movies. Oh, there's a lot going on here.
Army of Darkness isn't the entire title. The film's title is stylized on screen as Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness.
Yeah. That's what the opening thing was.
This phrasing was Sam Raimi's homage to the defunct Hollywood tradition of putting the star's name in the movie's title, like Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Wow.
But the studio feared that the long title would confuse moviegoers, and so it was shortened. So for official purposes, it was portrayed as Army of Darkness. Even though the title was shorter, even the shorter title wasn't Raimi's first choice. Army of Darkness is the third installment of the Evil Dead series, and the first to take place during the Middle Ages. Raimi's original title of Army of Darkness was supposed to be The Medieval Dead.
Oh my god, why wasn't it?
Oh, gosh.
That would have been so good.
Wow. Bridget Fonda finally got to work with Raimi. It says that Bridget Fonda makes a cameo as Ash's girlfriend Linda during the beginning flashback sequence.
Oh, yeah.
She is the third actress in 3 films to play Linda.
Damn, that's
following
funny.
Actress Betsy Baker and Denise Bixler.
Ash's memory is a bit hazy, you see.
Right.
She looks different with every reminiscence.
A huge Evil 2.
Huge Evil 2?
I'm sorry.
I want to see that movie.
I'm going to make that movie. Don't worry. I can get $36,000.
A huge Evil Dead 2 fan had originally announced auditioned, to be Raimi's previous film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to be in his previous film, Darkman, but didn't get the part. But she was able to be portrayed as the girlfriend in this film. So,
I see.
Ash's car had a lot of on-screen experience. The 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88 allegedly appears in all of Sam Raimi's films.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's good to know.
Interesting.
Darkman made Army of Dead possible. Raimi wanted to make Army of Darkness immediately following the 1987's Evil Dead 2, but he struggled to find funding to finish his trilogy. The financial success of Raimi's 1990 film Darkman eventually convinced Universal Studios to split the $12 million budget with the executive producer Dino to make this movie possible.
Nice.
$12 million. And again, I can guarantee you most of it went into those effects. the last 30 to 45 minutes of this, I say the last 30 minutes of this movie is probably where like half that went. You know?
Can you do some calculations? How much is that in 90s money?
In 90s money?
Yeah.
It's called Google, bro. Like,
I don't have my phone on me, dude.
I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna hit Siri. I don't even have a Google phone, but still, I have a Google phone.
The words Ash must
Let me see.
utter.
11 milli in 2022.
90s milli.
Yeah, I probably should mention 11 million 2022. I should probably say 11 million 19. What was it? 92? 92.
92.
22.
The words ass. Oh, ass. Bro, I can't speak right now.
The words ass.
The words ass must utter to safely retrieve the Necronomicon is Klaatu Verata Nictu are actually a variation on a phrase from the original version of The Day the Earth Stood Still. In that film, Klaatu Barada Nictu is the phrase one must say to stop the robot Gort from destroying Earth.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Gort's an OG.
Gort.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not scared of Gort.
Nah, son.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Gort is not that.
Yeah.
That motherfucker made the Earth stand still.
It's about twice as much. 11 million in 1992 is equivalent in purchasing power to about 23,250,000 today, an increase of $12 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not a very large budget for a film.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But
I mean, at least by today's standards,
that's not much bigger, but still, about $23 million of a budget is still more than you would think watching it initially. Right. Again, apart from the effects toward the end.
Here's a little quick one.
The first hour of this movie, though, you're probably like, I'll be honest, where did they pull $11 million out of their ass? Like he's pulling freaking shotgun shells out of his ass?
Yes, they
I thought the scene with the mini ashes and the subsequent, like, separation
don't even remind me
of ashes,
the
like,
worst scene of this film.
Oh yeah, I'll admit though, again, another good effect. Whenever I hated the scene at the time because there's just I mentioned
of all the crazy bullshit.
But I like how both of you guys laugh because you're like because of every aspect of the scene,
right?
Yes. But okay, so basically the guy
because structurally the weakest part of this film,
right? Exactly, yeah. I have to step back like 9 steps. So we'll just start here. Yeah. He says he's going to get to the book in a graveyard. Okay, on the way he gets a side quest basically, and it makes no sense and has pretty much no bearing on the film apart from the fact that the big bad evil guy comes back because of the scene. So otherwise though, no bearing on the film. And if it weren't for the big bad evil guy, the whole every other aspect of the scene, freaking bonkers garbage, right? But what happens is he's chased by something and then it like possesses him ? It's never really explained, and that's something.
I think it's the fact that he swallows one of the guys, tries to kill him, but then of course it just becomes.
And because he drinks boiling water, which was horrific, such a bad scene. I say horrific like it was actually scary. No, it was just a shitty scene. Let me rephrase. If you're scared of watching this movie now, it's not scary.
Don't worry.
On the scary scale, it doesn't even hit a 2 for me. All right. So he. Then when he's walking out the house, after all that, you're like, okay, that was a gigantic waste. In my head, I'm like, that was a gigantic waste of time, but at least he's leaving. And within a second of me saying that in my head, right, he pulls his shirt over and an eye opens, right? And I'm like, of course it's not over yet. But let me say in retrospect, that scene was kind of badass. The animation, the way the eye looked, I was like, and I think I even said, I was like, that actually looks kind of good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it looked nice. His, like, shoulder turned into, like, an eye, and it was weird, and it, like, blinked at him. He was like, oh, shit, right? And then it starts slowly splitting apart, even though that scene's annoying because it's just a bunch of slapstick of them punching each other and, like, crawling. And he's, like, acting like he has no control over himself because this thing's walking him somewhere. He's like, where is it taking me? As if you won't have 2 legs as well, right? Like, so, but it was a bad scene, but that one, that one, like, got me a little bit. That was actually, like, okay, that was kind of nice. That was creepy. Is that body horror?
Here's a little quick couple. It says the skeletons were called deadites.
Oh yeah, deadites.
And then it says the skeleton.
Do they have a caste system as well?
I don't know. It says the skeleton deadites were an homage. Their design is a tribute to the visual effects of the legend Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah, with Jason and the Argonauts.
Yep. Also, it says that Billy Bryan, the actor who portrays the second monster in the medieval pit, also portrays the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in Ghostbusters.
Yo, no way.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
it says that Sam Raimi's brother made a whole bunch of cameos or wore a lot of hats. It says Ted Raimi, who makes cameos in all of his brother's films, appears as 3 different background characters in the Army of Darkness.
And what were they called again? Deadites?
Deadites.
I love that you're losing it over Deadites.
I keep thinking that the Israelites versus the Deadites.
Oh my God. Making a movie.
I keep
Find
thinking,
funding to make that a movie right now.
Jesus being like, and the Deadites and the Dendrites are against the Israelites.
Gosh, Jesus.
That's why it killed me. I haven't
be
stopped
so
laughing
good.
since the first time he said Deadites.
It says that he is first seen as a sympathetic villager, then as a dying soldier during the final battle, and then finally as the S-Mart employee at the last scene asking him about...
the guy who's like, that was pretty...
Did you say the words right this time?
You said it right those time? He's like, I guess.
Basically.
Which, by the way, the last scene of the movie killed me. I wish it would have ended when he got back to his
Dude,
time.
I love that.
But the last scene of the movie, he like...
Oh, God.
we'll spoil
A
it real quick.
Deadite possesses a woman.
We're 35 minutes in, so we can go ahead and hit the ending, I guess. So he makes it back to his time, and he's telling the story and everything, and the guy's like, did you say that right this time? And he's like, yeah, I guess. It gets back to stocking shelves. And some girl, of course, because every chick is
The
just
romance in this film is so atrocious.
Every chick wants to just hop on this dude's dick. All right,
This is why we are where we are
No
in today's
rhyme or
world.
reason.
Yeah, and so he's like, she walks over and she's like, I thought the story was cute, and I'm like, yeah, because that's what happens. If it was that
Right.
easy, I wouldn't be single. But whatever. Maybe in the '90s it was easy.
Yeah.
And then. Of course, a Deadite, another possesses another woman who tries to kill it, and he pulls out a shotgun, and he has a couple of bad one-liners where he's like, I'm from Home Goods, and shoots and misses every shot.
My name's Ash.
Man's a storm.
Houseware.
Yeah, Ash, houseware. Yeah, and then he rolls on a shitty rolling cart.
Throws his shotgun in the air first.
Slowly rolls and does the. It's not a shotgun because it has like the little
Oh wait,
it's a
no,
lever
it's
action
like a lever
rifle.
action
It's like
rifle.
it's like a So he's like doing the. It's cool, but like he's missing every shot like a freaking stormtrooper. And when it ends, the girl just walks up to him and just like makes out with him.
Okay.
Like no
but
reason.
need I remind you, just to like
Probably.
just
Too much
to
happens.
just to paint a picture. Imagine throwing a gun in front of you. And I want you to imagine throwing a rifle. Like, you can probably throw it, a good 10, 15 feet out in front of you? Just imagine him throwing the gun in front of him, hopping on a cart, rolling 2 feet, and then it falling straight down from the heavens into his hand. It's like, why on God's green earth did you throw the gun?
And I can't stress enough how slowly that cart moves.
Oh, it moves so slowly.
Nary an inch.
If you think it's moving slowly, I want you to slow it down by another like 20%.
I want you to
right?
imagine that it's not moving on its own power. It's moving by like some sort of magical power.
There's a guy, there's a 13-year-old named Jim who's just pulling it by a string, but the kid's like 13 and can't move this dude, this 180-pound man.
And just know,
Like, he's just
know that this lever action rifle probably can fit the better part of 8 to 10 shots in it.
Yeah, right.
And he shoots this gun
27 times.
Nary but 27 times.
Right.
I mean,
I'm talking.
You gotta make sure with Deadites.
There's a
he is
scene where
blasting.
you say you gotta make sure with that. The problem is he misses every shot.
He does. This thing is juking him like it's nobody's business.
He's doing the thing where he like again in these like old westerns where like right, and he's like moving his hand. And it looks really cool, but all you see is for like every 7 shots,
a few sparks.
The Deadite just moves her head to the left and moves it to the right, and it's like every 4 shots she moves it though.
And then
this dude just sucks.
Also, and then also just imagine holding a camera while you're a little too inebriated off of alcohol and you're like rolling on marbles.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. You're like, oh my God, what's happening? I can't see straight.
And like,
and he's just like, bah, 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 and you're like, oh my God, dude, you can't have that many bullets in that gun.
Now take everything that you just pictured, the picture you have in your head and how bad it is, all right, make it 10% worse. That's this entire movie, right? Because I like to think we painted a pretty good picture.
Oh, yeah.
Make it just a little bit more shitty and you're done. That's the movie. Oh, man.
Hear me. Let's listen to this part. It says, Raimi had a hard time fighting for an R rating in keeping with the gory first 2 films in his series. Army of Darkness received an NC-17 rating from the MPAA. It was subsequently bumped down to an R rating after the filmmaker pointed out that the ostensible gore in the film was happening to skeletons.
Okay, that makes it so much better. So boom, rated R. I also would like to point out that
I'm confused by that, but okay.
As I always mentioned, technically,
you can't expect much gore with a skeleton.
Technically, there are titties in this film, but they're covered. So
Right.
good job. As far as 90s films go, there are titties. The nipperoo is covered.
We're getting out of the 80s, so they're not so present.
They're not just flopping around in every scene, right? Yeah. But there's
what was that?
titties in this
What was the film? Shit.
I feel like every 80s film we've reviewed. I mean,
Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
Well, we just had like just blatant titties out everywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
Killed
every,
a dog,
every
I think, or
third
a horse.
scene.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Punches a camel.
Oh yeah, just downright animal abuse and tits and everything.
They were probably all real animals.
It was
Snake
punching.
arrows.
real. Oh my god! Don't even start the snake arrows.
Honestly, we need to stop because the snake arrow scene.
Yeah.
That scene sent me.
Oh god!
I was like, "It's a snake arrow. That's a snake.
That's the
Okay, that's a
best.
snake arrow."
He like
Yeah.
whispers to the snake. It's like, be an arrow.
Right.
And then he fires it like no problem.
He gives a little smooch, and then
It says that playing Evil Ash was tough for Campbell. It took the makeup artists 3 hours to get Campbell ready for shooting.
just for him to have shitty one.
Just for him to be like a main
just for him to be
antagonist.
evil, but me not to be able to tell he's evil because he's saying too many shitty one-liners.
I didn't
It's
think
the
about
same.
that, but he also is playing the evil version of himself, like the big bad guy in the film. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, I guess and yeah,
The whole jaw situation.
in that case, and that I forgot
I
he's playing.
did really
It's
like
it's a
the,
different fit,
the
but he actually does a
face.
very good job. Then all that makeup. Now that I think about it, he's playing. I thought it was just some other guy in a suit. Now at this because there's so much makeup you can't tell it's him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, if he plays, I gotta give him props there. The makeup is so good that I couldn't tell, and also the acting is good enough, even though he said it was hard, that I couldn't tell. That's real. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Damn it, I gotta give him props.
Right. Like I said,
It has its moments.
Like
It's
I
got
said,
these
that's,
little
that's what I'm
things that you
saying.
can
It's
pick
these.
out.
There's little moments
But
of the film
as
that
a
are funny,
whole-
but it's just hard to find the
Yeah.
gems to waiting through all the shit sometimes.
As a whole, I put this on because
Right.
I knew it would be fucking
Oh,
hilarious
of course.
to watch with you guys.
And that's what I'm saying. Like this is one of those movies that I know I can probably watch it later and go like, man, this is bad, but it's funny to laugh at. But right now, because I'm watching it analytically, it's like, what have I gotten myself into? I'm like, man, this is just.
In the words, and
Oof.
I'm gonna say this because I'm not the one who made this phrase. In the words of Mr. GG, who's been reviewing all the guy who I've been watching so much. If you haven't seen him, look him up. Right? He said it's a great movie to put on and finger bang your local barista to.
Excuse
me. He said it's a great movie. You can put on finger bang your local barista to it. And I'll be honest, that you're paying so little attention to. I usually say it's a great movie to like just party with and pay a little tip. Same thing, right? Great movie if you're paying a little bit of attention, you can laugh at it, right? Every year it's a thing like you're saying.
Right.
You put it on, you watch it, and you have a drink or something. It's worth mentioning. We drank
It's a gas.
we drank a not insignificant amount of scotch before watching the movie, which probably affected how much we roasted it.
Oh,
Bro.
I'm sure.
I was feeling good watching this movie.
We had one glass of Irish whiskey. The rest was scotch though, so
Right.
that probably affected how much we roasted it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
still, it was a really good movie. When it comes to like laughing at
having a
and
good
like
time.
just having a good
Jobbing
time.
it up.
But when it comes like if you're trying to watch like a horror movie or something, no, not it. If you look at the cover and you're like, it looks like a kind of old horror movie that might be like a little cheesy, it's more cheesy than it is horror.
The
It's
cheese
not.
is way up.
It's not. As a guy who is
It's
currently
just Gouda.
yeah, dude, this shit is the bluest cheese. By the way, I had blue cheese dressing for the first time the other day.
Oh, yeah?
And I'll be honest, it's better than blue cheese.
I still have steered
Yes.
clear of it.
Okay, here's the thing: blue cheese dressing tastes like a sour ranch. Like all the things I like about ranch turned up, all the things I dislike about ranch turned down. Because it's literally a dressing with a little bit of blue cheese. I didn't know that. I didn't know,
Yeah.
nobody told me that. I thought it was just blue treat. Right? And I've had
blue cheese. No.
I've had blue cheese on a burger, and I'm like, I'll be honest, I don't taste the burger. You know what I taste?
Yeah.
Freaking blue cheese.
funk.
That shit's
overwhelming.
strong. I don't think it was bad, but it was so much, too much.
Yeah.
You want to know
Blue
something
cheese dressing though, that was kind of fire. If I get wings next time, I'm probably gonna get the blue cheese dressing.
Cool. To wrap
Random fact.
To wrap it back around, it says that
Horror movies.
the studio actually changed the ending.
Really?
The original conclusion
I
of
need
the
to know.
film, which Universal Studios deemed too negative, featured Ash taking a little too much of the potion to get back to the present day and waking up in a future post-apocalyptic London.
No fucking way.
Yeah, the ending can be seen on the subsequent director's cut
What?
Oh my
of
God,
the
I
home
have to
video
see this.
versions of Army of Darkness.
That shit.
I cannot believe I
Slaps,
didn't know
dude.
about that. That's
Right.
so cool.
And then it
let me
says-
see. I'm gonna Google it real quick. I need to see pics.
Please.
And then here's
Picture it didn't happen.
here's the last one. It says, even after years of trying, a sequel never materialized.
Ripperonis.
Beginning in 2000.
It ended like they wanted a sequel. Still,
beginning in 2015, Bruce Campbell reprised his role as Ash in the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV series.
Oh, yeah.
While fans of the Evil Dead franchise love it, Raimi spent years trying to get a sequel to Army of Darkness off the ground. On the commentary track of the first season of Ash vs. the Evil Dead, Raimi even shared a few of the discarded ideas that he had for that film. So
that's insane.
I found that on YouTube. We'll play it after the PCast.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to watch that. I need to know if it makes the movie better. Because I really this ending was like, again, cheesy, him making out with the girl. Right. It was just like, what did I just watch? Right? Like the rest of the movie was like something else. But at the very end, I was like, that's how we end it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Oof.
God.
Oh man.
I feel like I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
Bro, whenever he came out there with it, like in the fight sequence, he busted out the door with his car all like
and they turned the helicopter blades
dude,
on.
I'm telling you, the first thing that came out of my mouth, I was like, what in what in the orc wog piece of shit is this?
Wah!
In Warhammer 40K, the orcs have wog as like their salute or whatever, or it's like they're kind of their
mantra.
Yeah, their mantra or whatever.
Cry.
And I swear,
wow, Mr. Bond.
all their shit looks like that, where it's like helicopter blades and like weird shambles.
It looks. What you're saying is everything the orcs make is scuffed.
Oh, it's all.
They could make a car out of junk.
Oh yeah,
they could put a cardboard box where
the
engine would be
trusted orc dust. That's how it works.
Engine on it, and it would work.
Yeah.
As long as they believe it
exactly.
would.
It's faith trusted orc dust.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
And wow, Mr. Bond.
The green mushroom people cannot be defeated.
Everything they make looks scuffed, and that looks like a scuffed orc thing because it's it was like there's a helicopter blade on it, and like there's
the gargants. Do you see that AT-AT?
Of course I do. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Of course they made that.
Of course they
amazing.
made that. So we're just looking at pictures now, these little models of just ramshackle stuff.
Yeah, wow, if you will. What is this?
That thing can wipe out scores.
No, of course
entire
it can.
platoons.
Of course it can.
It's got a chainsaw for a hand, much like Ash.
A little Russian nesting doll of a metal beast. Anyways, so again, like whenever that thing happened and he turns on the propeller blades and starts knocking out people, I literally was like, I can't do this anymore. Do you remember?
I yearn for reality that doesn't so closely resemble hell.
I yearn for a conclusion to this film. What was the now? Okay, Dylan, this is a little trivia for you. Do you remember? Because I don't remember. Do you remember at what point in the film that I actually said that? I was like, I'm out. I can't do this. It was
in fact the car.
Okay, it was at the car. Okay,
Yes.
good. There was some other bullshit that was happening, and I just remember
that was the final
that
straw.
was, for me, that was there.
That was what drove me over the edge.
Where he busts out his car
drove.
because there's a sequence. There's a montage of him taking apart his car that has been beat to hell. It has fallen from
exploded.
I mean,
I'd like to point out, like, whenever it fell, the knights just walk up to it and start poking it with their swords.
That was my favorite part of the movie, I think, because they walk up to it like it's some beast and they start trying to stab it.
Tough armor.
Yeah,
right.
Ping,
Ping, ping, and like stabbing at it, like it's so funny.
Jesus. Anyways, yeah. So whenever, like, again, there's this brief montage where I'm like, and may I say, this man that has been nothing but a shitty ass person to these people,
Right.
And again, literally, we're talking about knights that are skilled and trained in the art of combat, and you got this bimbo over here with a chainsaw.
Bimbo, it's a guy.
This affixed to his arm with a shotgun that has unlimited ammo. Apparently,
What a combo.
Right. Oh God,
That's easily my favorite part of his character.
The fact that his shotgun.
He's got a fucking chainsaw arm and a shotgun.
And then in this montage, we are seeing him like basically take a chemistry book out the back of his car.
Chemistry 101. He teaches him how to make dynamite.
He teaches him how to make gunpowder.
See, I've been able to believe it a bit more if it was chemistry for dummies.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
and then not only that,
I kept joking with Dylan. I was like, he's doing this has to be 2,000 or 3,000 level chemistry that he's doing, and he's got a chemistry 101 book. He's trying to make dynamite.
And then
I'm like,
that,
if you can make dynamite with a chemistry 101 book, why do you work at a retail store? Like,
and then not only that, it's just the fact, like in that montage, he's like getting his car and getting it pushed by these knights into this area. and then him and like the blacksmith are like proceeding to take the engine out. Or like proceed to take the engine out by hoisting it on chains. I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? The thing is, what I legitimately thought he was going to do was he was emptying out the car to be like a bomb vessel. They were going to like leave somewhere or something.
I somehow would have liked that more.
Or like pushed out, and then of course like make it like a mini nuke of some kind. But no, they apparently with the magic of. I don't know what the hell.
Magic.
Orc magic. They end up making it work, and of course, not only that, putting up a propeller blade on it with like a wooden shield.
Normally,
on it.
I say I know the problem. It ain't got no gas, but I guess this one had gas.
And they have a smokestack that is like constantly burning fire, like we're in Mad Max or something.
It's steam powered.
It's like we're in a freaking post-apocalyptic Mad Max situation here. And I'm like, boy, what are we doing here? Only thing we're missing is riveted iron on this thing, and what is that, diamond cut plate or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, leather jackets and chains, and we're in a freaking different era all of a sudden. Anyways,
remember, folks.
Oh God,
shop smart, shop as smart.
I am done with you.
No, you aren't.
Oh God, what a shit. Oh man. I feel like I'm having a fever dream right now, dude.
It's okay.
Oh, anyways, it was the one thing that got me. I was like, the second that car busts out there, I was like, I'm out, dude. I can't. And then whenever his pseudo girlfriend, whatever the hell she was, like, apparently gets smooched on by the bad
wench.
version of him, and then turns into a bad person, and first word.
Dude had
like
four girlfriends until
he full on took her top off and was like groping her titties while he was kissing on her, and then it cuts hard. And I was like, and apparently there's other wenches there.
Yeah,
he got other wenches.
The one titty scene is just some random chick with her shirt off walking by. By the way, her hair covering her nipple, just walking by, and I was like. That's the scene. They're like, we need to have one topless chick in this show. So just pick some that's it.
And then not only that, again, the next scene where he are you ready to go, baby?
After the evil makeout sesh.
Right. And then of course he's like,
I'm bad, but I feel so good.
I'm bad, but I feel so good. I'm like, oh, Jesus, what am I doing here?
Oh man, I'm never gonna get over that shit.
I don't know if we can watch this one every year. I think.
Hey, man, I didn't say the tradition had to carry over.
I'm just telling you that if that look, listen.
I'm just giving you a taste of what I grew up with.
Look,
okay?
I'm very inclusive. I have all sorts of friends, so you can do you, but you know what? Just keep it over there. I don't want to watch this every year. You know. That can be. I'm just joking. We need to pick a different movie to watch every year. We already basically watch A Scent of a Woman every year.
It's not so much a movie as it is just like a neat little series.
But we watch A Scent of a Woman every year for November so far. Since we watched it the first time for Thanksgiving.
It's getting close.
And for Christmas, I at least always watch Die Hard, and I have proposed that we watch Die Harder this time. Because I always watch Die Hard because it's a Christmas movie. But I also like the Harry Potter movies are up there. We can argue about that. We've already tried, but still. So Die Hard, it's up there for Christmas. But for Halloween, I don't have anything because I haven't seen any scary movies. And the classics like Halloween, which I'm going to watch probably after this podcast is over, I've never seen. So we need to
make sure to save some for the podcast because I haven't watched any of them either.
Well,
so I'm down to
now have Shudder, which I paid for.
We need
shameless plug. I paid not that much money for a year membership, which is wild.
I would say at least pick 2 or 3 before the rest of the holiday season comes up because that'd be we can probably sneak a few.
I'm getting zero sleep tonight. Be it because I watched something too scary or because I'm staying up late watching something scary and I need to wait for the sun to come up. I'm getting no sleep tonight.
Well, at least you're able to admit that now.
At least I'm not a pussy about it. Thank you.
Exactly.
When I come back and be like, guys, I regret it.
So on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, what would you give this?
Okay, we need to do 10. I need to do 10.
Sorry,
10. 1 to 10. 'Cause I'm not good at 5. On a scale of 1 to 10,
I like points. I like a good 2.4 star.
No. Okay, well, we can do 5-star, but I have to have 3 different tabs with that. Okay. As a overall mid 2.5. Right.
Let me really. And
if I have to pick an overall between 2 and 3 because it's a 5-star system, right? And I can't do 2.5, then I'm going to err on the side of 2 overall. Now, as a enjoyed experience, like funny movie, got 4.
Easy
4.
I was about to say 4.
Yeah, 4 when it comes to like watching it fun with friends. When it comes to, which again, I don't even know if it's advertised as a Halloween movie. So like, I don't know if it is or not. But if we're talking about Halloween movie or like scary movie or like horror movie, if we're talking about
lineage,
if we're trying to put it in anything horror related, go straight to 1. It's so funny and comical that it is not at all horror. Doesn't even feel reminiscent of horror movies.
We need to establish a 100-point rating scale, and then if it is a 2, like how far on the scale of 20 is it? You know, it's like for me, it's like would this be? I would give
28.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess here's what I'm saying. So on a 100-point scale, right?
Okay.
So,
right.
We
have a whole swath of numbers.
Because you could just do 1 with decimal points, but a 100-point scale is totally different. Different. Yeah, it's improved. Yeah. So on a 100-point scale for this movie, again, watching it alone, 28. Watching it with friends, 64.
64.
Yeah. Dude, okay, this was fun.
Damn.
This was fun. This was a fun
I had a
movie.
great time.
In fact, I'd probably say maybe between 64 and like 71 because like it was fun to watch and I enjoyed it with friends. The problem is alone, trash garbage.
It's the only way to watch it.
If I'm watching this alone, you're like, hey, is this a good movie? I am going to shit on this movie so bad.
I wanted to.
Not
but then
once have I ever watched this film on its own.
Exactly.
It's always been
exactly.
with my sister.
And so it's
I'm
like,
actually
if I'm watching
more,
it alone,
I'm more
I'm gonna tell you
surprised.
it's shit. But also, after I finish telling you that it's shit, I'm gonna be like, we should watch it together. It's pretty fun. So
I'm actually more surprised that that this film is the 3rd installment out of 2 other movies that I've also never seen before.
Is it? Yeah, Evil Dead is one of them, right?
Evil
I've
Dead is
heard
like
a lot about that one. Is that a good one?
It's a classic.
Those are
But this one's bad.
Okay, look, the series itself, I would say, is a classic. Like everybody knows about Evil Dead.
Yeah,
at
I've
the
heard
very
about
least.
it.
Oh, you know, I think I've seen.
There's also a song by Dragon Force called Evil Dead. Beside the point.
I think I've actually seen Evil. Maybe I
feel like we've made it long enough in this podcast, though. So
Yeah.
overall, actually, no. Who's everyone's favorite character? Describe the movie in 3 words as well.
I gotta go with.
Mine's Lord Arthur. He's my favorite character.
Are you sure it's not Red Henry? After he lets him go and he starts laughing in their faces.
I'll be honest, Red Henry screaming in that guy's face, and then the ending scene with them is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to describe it in 3 words real quick. I'm going to pick 4 words, though, because it only makes sense. 4 words. Mine's going to be Marty McFly, Demon Hunter.
Oh, my God.
That's perfect.
As for my favorite character...
There aren't many
honestly
characters.
Sheila's pretty funny. I like Sheila. I like that she slaps the piss out of him and then he just boinks her right then and
Give
there.
me some sugar, baby.
Right, yeah.
Oh
and then she turns evil and there's a
Trash
titty
writing.
scene and then she comes back evil and then she's good again. Her character makes 0 sense. That's why I like her.
I love that Lord Arthur is
kind of a pussy in this film.
No. I wouldn't say that. He's the only normal character in this whole film.
Maybe that's why I think he's a pussy.
out of the entire film, at no point does he say
my God.
he. I don't
He
think
never breaks character.
No,
he is
no,
100% a medieval king.
Yes, he is the medieval lord of this area, and I don't think he ever says anything that is comical in nature.
That argues with him being a medieval lord.
No,
yeah.
no,
You know what? That's
I'm
over here thinking he's a pussy because he's in character.
right, because he's the most well-written
By the way,
character.
it's
of
worth
this
mentioning.
film.
I kept every time they would talk, the medieval peasants would talk like serfs. Every time they would talk, I could not think but everything other than prithee delete this. Lest I couldn't think of anything else. It was so bad. I made this for thee. Prithee delete it. I couldn't stop.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So my favorite characters, because I can't pick just one,
Yeah.
are the skeletons.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's a good point. Any
I love
skeleton.
them all.
Yeah.
The mob.
Okay, can you describe it in 3 words?
Mm.
I already picked 4 words, so I'll give you guys 4 because I picked Marty McFly, Demon Hunter. But I could also pick McFly, Demon Hunter. But the problem is Marty makes it easy.
My 4 are going to be I've got a bone.
Oh, God.
No, I've got a bones 3. You win. All right. Mine's
No, I meant I've got a bone.
Yeah, but still, I've is 1 word.
Right.
Bad, really bad.
Bad, really bad. That's 3 words.
No,
Bone to pick is a good one too.
I just I don't even know. I can't.
That's
even,
it. I don't know.
No. That's not good enough. I feel like it needs to be
Primate chemistry class.
Hey, yo.
That's come on, primate. Hey, come on.
pretty good.
He calls them primates for. He calls them medieval peasants apes and roasts the shit out of them. He's an asshole at first. It's hilarious.
Best worst protagonist.
Yeah, he is honestly.
That's pretty good.
He's a dog shit protagonist.
I'm Duke
honestly,
Nuke them.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the best.
He's a Duke Nukem level protagonist.
Oh, yeah.
Like in every sense of the word. He's so bad.
Smug asshole.
Yeah, right.
Who still
insults
happens
everyone.
to save the
Thinks
day.
he's a genius. Sucks at fighting somehow. Still,
Right.
but just
Messes shit up.
blunders his way through the.
He's a Bumble
fight.
King.
I hate him. Legitimately, I like every character in this film more than Ash.
That's fine.
That's why you're like Lord Arthur's trash. Like, no, he's the best character.
No, I didn't say he was trash. I just called him a pussy. But, but the reason why it all makes sense. I still kick him.
Oh man.
All right. Now that we've conquered the army,
I know that
darkness shall reign no more.
I know that once upon a time I liked to use this phrase, and I tried to abstain from using it anymore because I feel like I said it too many times. But boy, was this a roller coaster of emotions!
Oh yeah.
Oh God, it was like I don't know.
I don't feel like it was a roller coaster of emotions. I'll be honest, because roller coasters have these like ups and downs and the twirly whirlies and all that.
The twirly whirlies.
This one, it really It felt like I was. It felt like I was stumbling down a cliff.
You didn't even make it to the roller coaster,
Bruh. You know what?
It's just me stumbling down a cliff that gets more and more sheer as time goes on.
Bro,
it just keeps getting worse, dude.
Ethan, you ever run full blast through a maze of mirrors?
Exactly. I just keep. That's what it is. It's like I've been given a time limit to get through a maze of mirrors. I have 2 minutes, right? And so I'm in a rush, and I'm shattering every mirror. That's what this movie is.
Oh man, what a fun time this was.
I'm so glad I got to watch this with you guys.
Jeez.
Holy shit, that was great.
Well, so much for our close to Halloween episode. Anyways, if you're looking to reach out to us, you can type in linktree/Ian Wolf and be able to find all of the links and ways to reach out to us. Or you can just type in The Aftermath on all the major podcasting platforms, and you should be able to find us that way. But anyways, is there anything else you boys want to say before we wrap this one up?
I feel like I'm going to delete make a new Instagram. Either that or I'm going to delete all my Instagram posts, make a new Instagram, and just post pictures of whiskey and like movies that we're watching for the podcast.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to make a podcast Instagram.
The thing is, I want you to take like pictures of it.
It's like,
and then,
drinking Brooklotti, and then just like, it like, we're watching this movie, and then like the comment is just like, it was bad.
I'm kind of down. I'm kind of down with this 100-point scale, and I kind of want to use this in the future.
I just post pictures of my numbers, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
My whole Instagram post is a picture of just the number 73.
I wanted to like do your 3 word, describe it in 3 words as well as your number rating. Mm-hmm. So it's just like best worst protagonist 64.
Army of Darkness 28. Marty McFly Demon Hunter.
I love it. It's perfect.
And then like just 48 hashtags, because you have to put enough hashtags to get. You got to mark it.
Yeah. Anyways, as I was saying before, thank you so much for listening.
See you.
Bye-bye.